Hello students. So good evening. Today in our class we are going to see about the IC application embedded system. Okay, so you know very well about what is embedded system and what is IC. So once again we can revise it, what is embedded and what is IC. So IC is nothing but the integrated circuits, ICs. So what is integrated? Integrated means something is integrated, like so adding of all the things is right. So like that, here what the in the integrated circuits they have did is, so they have integrated the active and passive components, right? So active and passive components. So what are the active and passive components means, like transistor, resistor, capacitors, and all the active and passive components are integrated in one IC. It is called as an integrated ICs. So integrated ICs, so before like 200 years before 1950 and all, what happened is they have using the vacuum tubes. And the vacuum tubes, after that some revolution, and we are switch over to the IC. The IC have got a strong foundation, and we are nowadays without ICs we can't do anything. Even some applications also we can't do it anything, right? So that is called as an IC. And another one is embedded is like what is the meaning of integrated is like the things are integrated like that. In the embedded system, embedded means so some hardware and software. Some hardware and softwares are embedded into one IC. It is called as an embedded system. Okay, so in this class we are going to see about the IC application embedded system. So myself Pavithra, assistant professor, SNS College of Engineering, Coimbatore. Okay. Next of all, so already I said what is an integrated. Integrated is not, IC is nothing but the integrated circuits plays a critical role in embedded system, enhancing their performance, functionality and efficiency. So what happened is, while we are using this embedded system, we have the accuracy is high, the specification is high. What has happened is, so in the before and all we have a system. In most of the time we know what is a system, computer system, right? We have a CPU, we have a keyboard, and we have a computer. So that and all, what are the application we needed, we can do all the applications in the embedded system. But in the case of in particularly in embedded system, what does mean, we can do only the specific text. So what happened is the power consumption is very less, so we are using this embedded system. So one more thing we can say, it is embedded is not follows the rule, and whatever it is like automized. So whatever you like to do, you can do it. But in the case of normal system, so whatever you have to do it manually. So only we are switching over to the ICs. Lot of ICs are coming in each and every time, like analog IC, digital ICs and all. So analog ICs means continuous waveforms, and digital ICs means zeros and ones. So using of this ICs, we can produce two types of waveform, like analog and digital. Some ICs are used in logical gates, some ICs are IC 555 and IC 741 operational amplifier. These are some of the hardware and software. So ICs are building a blocks of embedded system. Without the ICs we can't build any embedded system, and providing various functionalities and enabling the integration of hardware and software. So this is an IC system, embedded system. So here some of the common IC applications in the embedded system are microcontroller. So this is very seen word, like a microprocessor and microcontroller. Now I am going to speak about the microcontroller. Microcontroller are highly integrated IC that incorporate of processor. So there are two type of micro. What is the meaning of this micro? Micro means nothing but it is very small. So that's why we are called as a micro, right? So microprocessor and microcontroller, in the word itself it is does only the processing, so it is called as a microprocessor. And in controller it does a controlling and also processing, right? So embedding of processing and controlling is done by a microcontroller. And while doing of processor, we can do it with the help of processor. In some application we can use a processor, in some application we are using the controller. Okay, so microcontroller are highly integrated IC that incorporate a processor, memory and various peripheral interface such as timer, UART, special ICs and IC2 on the single chip. So in the microprocessor, right, here I am not mentioning any microprocessor, but I am saying that here we have only seen the microcontroller, right? So I am saying about the microprocessor. In the microprocessor there is no additional processing like memory. It has a minimum memory like a system memory. Other than that they don't have any other peripherals. But in the case of controller, already I said controllers are having inside the controller we having one processor. So all the things are inside this controller. So they save us heart of the embedded system. So as I said, the heart controller is an heart of the embedded system, providing controlling and processing the capability of wide range of applications. So most of our applications like washing machine, microwave, remote control, whatever all we are thinking, like we are making the work easily, that is based on our embedded system. Next one is digital signal processing. Digital signal processing, it's like it processes the digital signal. What is the meaning of digital? It is zeros and ones, right? So it processes digital signals such as audio, video, sensor data. They find extension use of in application like audio processing, speech recognition, image processing and communication system. So here and all we are using this embedded system. So here in the DSP is also one of the type of IC, right? How the microprocessor and controller is an IC, like that digital signal processor is also one of the IC. It can produce such audio and video sensor data. And field gate arrays, so FPGA, so field programmable gate array, or is one of the type of array type of circuit that allows the custom digital circuit design and recognition. They used in a application that requires high speed parallel processing, real time data manipulation and rapid prototyping. So array is nothing but so as I said, IC have integrated with the active passive components. So some of the active and passive components like transistors and all, so many transistors forms one ICs. So in that we are learning about the field programmable gate array. Next one, analog to digital converter. So why we are going for this analog to digital converter is, so all the applications are not based on the analog, all the applications are not based on the digital. So some applications we are in a case of analog, some application we are using a digital. So in the cases so we are taking the analog data and converting into the digital data. In some cases we are taking the digital data and coming into a analog data. For this purpose, particularly in the communication, audio signal and interfacing and all, we are using this analog to digital converter. And the power management ICs. The embedded system often requires efficient power management to optimize the energy consumption. So power management ICs is nothing but power is nothing but like a power consumption. Day to day life we are using our power. So power consumption management ICs means if I am using some applications, what happened is I have to use this application for longer time. So in the cases I want to go for some applications or want to go for the IC. So for particular ICs I am going for power management IC. The power management IC handle tasks like voltage regulation, power sequencing and power supply production. Okay, next one is memory ICs. So in all the cases we have a memories, right? These includes various types of memory such as flash memory, program storage, SRAM for temporary data, storage and EEPROM for non-volatile data. So memory is nothing but we can store the data. In that we have different types of memories like SRAM, static random access memory, and we have read only memory. Like that we have all the types of memory. It's nothing but to store the data, code and in configuration information. Next one is communication. So we know what is a communication. Communication nothing but we are communicating each other, right? If I want to say the hello word, I am communicating with you. Like that, the communication ICs are like exchanging the data, interacting with each other. So where we are composing the devices means Ethernet controller, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth chips and CAN controller. We have a mobile phone, we have a Bluetooth. So why we are using this mobile phone? Because of communication. We want to communicate with each other means we need some devices, and particularly the ICs, these ICs are used to communicate from exchanging the data. Next one is real-time clock RTIC. So real-time clock RTC, we are calling this RTC IC. This is a timekeeping function to the embedded system even when the main power is off. So RTC, real time clock, means if the power is also off also, we are keeping an accurate timekeeping function. They are essential for application that needs time based operation for time stamping. Like next one is a motor controlled IC. This is one of the motor controlled IC. Already you know what is motor controlled. It is a drive and control motor efficiently. It founds in robotics, industrial applications and automotive applications. And next is sensor. So widely we are known about a sensor because in now today day-to-day life we are using many sensors in our day-to-day life. Like if I want to watch my house, means I want to need to fix the sensor. If I want to who is coming and going like that, I have to check it. The check means I have to use for motion sensors. Like that I have to use some sensors. So these sensors are used to interface with various sensors such as temperature sensor, gyroscope, proximity sensor and more. They are critical in capturing the environmental data for decision making and control. So for this purpose only we are using the sensors. So these are some of the many IC application embedded system. So I hope you can understand this, what is an applications, IC applications of embedded system. So we can see it in the next class. Thank you so much.